In this video, you'll find out where China and the US stand as we head into the new AI economy. With driverless vehicles, firefighting robots, and email programs that finish your sentences, there's no getting away from the way that artificial intelligence, AI, will keep discovering applications in our regular daily existences. There's likewise little discussion around the way that the US and China presently have the biggest grouping of splendid personalities attempting to build up these applications. China is so resolved to turn into the world's superpower in AI that they're taking the necessary steps to prepare for a roaring AI industry. This incorporates intensely sponsoring the lease for AI tech new businesses and setting up all-in-one resource to make it simple to dispatch another startup. The Chinese government is in any event, making sure about situations at serious schools for the children of startup chiefs. Is it enough to bring down the monsters of Silicon Valley? Creator Kai-fulee has gone through years in both Silicon Valley and its Chinese equivalent, Zhongwenkan. He trusts China is in an incredible situation to beat Silicon Valley, rule in the new AI-based economy, and along these lines change the world's request. In these chapters, you'll find out how the Chinese adaptation of Groupon got one of the world's greatest new companies, how WeChat turned into the world's greatest super application, and how a malignancy alarm made the creator reconsider our relationship to AI. Thanks to advancements in profound learning, we're very nearly an AI economy. As of not long ago, if individuals were discussing man-made reasoning, AI, it was likely with regards to sci-fi. Be that as it may, nowadays, everybody from school children to CEOs is thinking about what sort of changes AI has available for use in the coming years. Truth be told, when the creator gives talks at schools and chief gatherings, he's discovered that Chinese kindergarten understudies ask him similar inquiries as CEOs. For example, would we say we will have AI educators, and what sort of occupations would we say we will have later on? While the development of certifiable AI can appear to be a moderately new thing, it's been fermenting for quite a long time and has just currently begun being a significant business device because of achievement in deep learning. The account of how we got to profound learning extends back to the 1950s when analysts like Marvin Minsky and John McCarthy had an objective of pervading PCs with human insight. Furthermore, when the creator began engaging in this field in the mid-80s, there were two camps running after this, the standard-based individuals and the neural organization people. Rule-based AI accepted that the best outcomes would come from programming machines with each standard in turn. For example, felines have three-sided molded ears. The neural organization camp, then again, liked to allow the machine to learn all alone, much as people do, through experience. Along these lines, a machine can examine an image of a feline and react erroneously. However, this mistake will become information that it gains from. What neural network-based AI truly required was heaps of information to break down and quicker processing power, which at last showed up during the 2000s. With the improved conditions, AI specialist Geoffrey Hinton had the option to at long last add the perfect measure of layers to the neurons and basically duplicate the AI preparing capacity to an unheard of level. At the point when this occurred, the neural organization was rebranded to profound learning. The huge advancement was disclosed at a 2012 challenge when Hinton's new AI calculation overwhelmed the opposition at visual acknowledgement. Out of nowhere, AI was equipped for preparing complex issues, perceiving examples, and concocting astounding outcomes. Unmistakably, this innovation was presently relevant to an entire exhibit of ordinary capacities, including visual and sound understanding, settling on complex monetary choices, and in any event, driving a vehicle. Because of profound learning, an AI economy was in transit. In the course of recent years, China has gone from copycat to force to be reckoned with. In China, man-made reasoning had what the creator calls a Sputnik second in 2016. It happened when the AI program known as AlphaGo beat the hero Go player, Lee Sedol, in a 3-game competition. These games had 280 million Chinese watchers stuck to their TVs, and many were crushed when the noticeably enthusiastically conceded. But instead of breaking the individual's soul, the individuals of China got propelled to control the force of AI for their potential benefit, similar to the dispatch of the Russian satellite, Sputnik, energized Americans to be the first on the moon. What's more, similarly as John F. Kennedy announced U.S. goals to go to the moon, following the Go competition, the Chinese government provided a mobilizing cry proclaiming their desire to turn into the worldwide head of AI development inside the following 10 years. This is especially exceptional since only a couple of very long time earlier, China was known more for being a center of copycat innovation than for its development. To be sure, in the mid-2000s, China was duplicating each fruitful Silicon Valley item. This made numerous in the West discount China's capacities as an imaginative contender. What the cynics neglected to perceive, however, is that by being copycats, Chinese businesspeople were really figuring out how to make their own top-notch items. The best model might be Wang Xing, who made copycat Friendster, Facebook, Twitter, and Groupon destinations. In doing as such, Wang not just figured out how to plan consistent items, he turned into a fight-solidified contender who realized how to flourish in the merciless Chinese market. So when he directed his concentration toward his gathering rebate administration Meituan, he was prepared to beat Groupon itself. This time around, Wang didn't duplicate the interface. He made it Chinese accommodating with thickly stuffed page plans. He likewise kept away from overspending right off the bat to charm clients and rather went through cash for the drawn-out success by marking selective arrangements with merchants and making a quick and dependable installment framework. Dissimilar to Groupon, Wang didn't attempt to drive on one thought, all things considered. He extended and offered new items dependent on whatever was mainstream at that point, including motion pictures, flood conveyance, and nearby the travel industry. Thus, by 2014, Groupon was on the decline, selling for not exactly a large portion of its IPO, while Meituan was turning into the fourth most significant startup on the planet. China's extraordinary online world makes it a goldmine for the sort of information that AI flourishes with. There are some crucial contrasts between Silicon Valley's and China's new businesses, and a major one is having what's known as a light or hefty touch. At the point when a business has a light touch, it does a certain something and leaves a ton of the specifics encompassing that assistance for others to manage. This is the style of Silicon Valley organizations like Uber, which interfaces individuals with a ride, yet doesn't manage gas and vehicle support. What could be compared to Uber is Didi, and Didi likewise possesses the corner stores and fix shops that keep their rides in assistance. This heavy touch approach is liked in China since it by and large makes it harder for a copycat startup to completely copy a help. Having a hefty touch and controlling all parts of assistance can likewise prompt more information, which is fundamental to a decent AI item. As of now, China is perched on the world's greatest information goldmine. This is particularly evident with regards to Tencent, the organization behind WeChat, a genuine super application that individuals use for pretty much everything. To comprehend the marvel of WeChat, it's critical to comprehend that most Chinese individuals are versatile first web clients, which implies that their first web experience was through a modest cell phone, as opposed to a PC. Considering this, WeChat has become a portable application that allows you to do all that you'd like to do with a PC. Because of smaller than usual applications inside WeChat, you can talk with companions. However, you can likewise arrange nourishment for conveyance, open a shared bicycle, purchase staple goods, purchase film tickets, buy boarding passes, book a regular checkup, request a remedy, and secure a few stocks, all without leaving WeChat. A large number of these capacities are made conceivable by another smaller than usual application, the WeChat Wallet, which was presented on Chinese New Year 2014. Each New Year's Day, there's a custom of sending friends and family a red envelope with cash inside. WeChat permitted clients to do this electronically, with no exchange expenses, and it was such a triumph that upon dispatch, 5 million individuals connected their financial balances to WeChat and sent 16 million electronic red envelopes. Since the presentation of the WeChat wallet, China has become an inexorably money-free society. That is a great deal of information under one rooftop, making it progressively clear what individuals like to purchase, where they travel, and significantly more. China is ready to be the top superpower with regards to web AI, however not business AI. The appearance of AI in our regular daily existences is coming in 4 waves. The first is Internet AI. YouTube prescribes the following video for you to watch dependent on an AI calculation, and administrations like the Taoxiao application not just suggest articles, it consequently produces them too. With respect to who is the pioneer in web AI, the creator considers the to be in China as in a dead heat until further notice. However, in 5 years, he predicts China will have a 60-40 favorable position as far as having the option to overwhelm the market. This is because China having more web clients than the US and Europe consolidated, and a populace prepared to make portable installments to content makers. As of now, applications like WeChat Wallet permit individuals to send micro payments of a couple of pennies to online substance makers they like, and this sort of climate will prompt imaginative substance from engaged makers, giving China the slight edge. The second wave is business AI, and this is the class where the US truly has a preferred position. Business AI is as of now arising, with calculations settling on choices on monetary portfolios and bank credits. China has some great portable administrations effectively, similar to smart finance, which makes advances without considering monetary history or your postal district. All things being equal, it utilizes novel measurements like how it requires for you to respond to specific inquiries and how much battery power your gadget has. In doing as such, it's demonstrated to be a dependable advance help for transient specialists and different populaces underserved by customary banks, and the level of defaults is just in the single digits. Notwithstanding, one territory of information China needs is business records. Contrasted with China, the US has a perfect history of record keeping, with information bases loaded with banking, emergency clinics, and other deals. Hence, the US is in an extraordinary situation for business AI, and the creator gives America a 90-10 preferred position here. The 5-year forecast is somewhat better for China, with the US advantage sliced to 70-30. China is on top of things in insight AI, however, the US has an early lead in self-sufficient AI. The third flood of AI is insight AI, which incorporates voice and facial acknowledgement programs. China has a favorable position here, due to some extent to social contrasts. Americans have many big brother fears about their picture and voice being caught, while the Chinese are more pleasant to offer up some security as a trade-off for more comfort. Insight AI can possibly be an energizing territory as it obscures the limits of the web and disconnected. This is the reason this innovation regularly falls under the classification of online combined disconnected, OMO. One OMO application we'll be seeing a greater amount of is the Keen supermarket. Imagine snatching a basic food item truck that examines your face, remembers you, and raises your shopping list. In doing as such, it welcomes you in the voice of your number one entertainer. What's more, since it examines all that you put in the truck, it can stop you before you arrive at the checkout counter in the event that you failed to remember anything. It could even help you to remember your adored one's number one brand of wine as you approach that segment. China is now making the Xiaomi line of items, which transforms your home into a voice-initiated, AI-upgraded climate. Because of a nearby assembling center in Shenzhen, these items, which incorporate speakers, fridges, rice cookers, and vacuum cleaners, are entirely moderate. China's assembling preferred position and US protection concerns give China a 60-40 lead now, and the author expects it will develop to 80-20 out of 5 years' time. The fourth and last wave is self-sufficient AI. Up until this point, we haven't drawn near to the sort of innovation that gives robots human-like knowledge, and it's conceivable that we won't ever will. Yet, we do have drones, which are getting further developed, and machines that can perceive the shade of a ready strawberry and delicately pick them. Google and Tesla are additionally changing our motorways with driverless vehicles, which will be turned out in years to come. In this way, the US as of now has a major lead in self-governing AI, which the creator puts at around 90-10, yet China is anxious to get up to speed. Truth be told, the Chinese government is exceptionally proactive in giving AI accommodating approaches and guidelines, so it will be simpler to execute this innovation on a wide scale. As of now, China is building a highway and a whole city the size of Chicago particularly intended for AI vehicles. So in 5 years' time, it'll be more like a 50-50 split. Specialists are as yet discussing whether AI will prompt an ideal world or an oppressed world. Nowadays, when financial experts and specialists banter about what a world with an AI economy seems as though, they will in general fall into two camps. Popular generalists and specialist, Ray Kurzweil, is in the idealistic camp. He considers machines to be the incomparable instrument for people to upgrade their bodies and psyches, permitting us to get more intelligent and live more. Also, AI specialist Demise Hasebiais considers AI to be the instrument that will permit us to at long last fix illness and tackle issues like global warming. In the oppressed world camp, there's business visionary Elon Musk and physicist Stephen Hawking, who believe AI's latent capacity addresses an intense danger to mankind. For instance, an AI program could be approached to address a worldwide temperature alteration and see clearing out people as the most ideal alternative. Conclusions vary among financial experts too, and a significant part of the discussion has originated from a recent report by Oxford University, which discovered 47% of US tasks to be in danger over the course of the following 20 years because of expanding robotization. Obviously, most organizations will be anxious to reduce expenses and increment benefits on the off chance that they can mechanize certain errands. What's more, This acquires us to a significant distinction: the reports that came after the 2013 Oxford study. Most of the computerization that AI is as of now fit for considers certain errands to be robotized, yet not whole positions. For instance, a robotized charge counsel could do certain errands, to ascertain government forms and check for irregularities, yet it can't have nuanced discussions with customers. With the contrast among errands and whole positions as a top priority, more reports followed. As indicated by the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD, just 9% of U.S. occupations were in danger because of mechanization. In a 2017 report by PricewaterhouseCoopers, PwC, 38% of U.S. occupations were in danger, while McKinsey Global said that around 50% of undertakings overall are, as of now, automatable. This is a significant reach, and it's an integral motivation behind why market analysts stay separated on the issue. The creator will in general concur with the PwC report while feeling that the real number of dislodged laborers may even be higher. This is on the grounds that the reports didn't mull over ground-up relocation, which will come from organizations like Smart Finance and Taoxiao, which don't utilize any credit officials or editors. So these organizations won't add computerization and terminating workers, rather they'll uproot credit officials and editors starting from the earliest stage by not contributing them to a situation in any case. After a genuine health scare, the author is cheerful that we can work in agreement with AI. In 2013, the author was diagnosed to have stage 4 lymphoma. He was something of a compulsive worker, yet that all changed. He understood that such a large amount of the exertion put into his profession was useless at this point. Looking up to his own mortality, he presently comprehended that being gainful wasn't what made him human. Truth be told, that was more similar to being a machine. What made him human was his associations with his family, companions, and those near him. On account of a course of chemotherapy, he's right now going away, yet the experience changed how he imagined AI and people functioning in concordance. The development of AI gives us an astounding chance to surrender quite a bit of our terrible mechanical undertakings to calculations so we can zero in on the human part of our lives, connecting with each other, being important for a local area, and improving the world. However, this would require a central move in the worth we put on specific positions. Right now, generously compensated positions are normally ones that produce benefit, and these are additionally the positions that can regularly be done by AI. In the interim, positions that can only with significant effort be computerized, for example, parental figures and individual helpers, are underestimated. The author is sure that this is a roaring field in the U.S. with 1.2 million home well-being assistant and individual consideration responsibilities to be added inside the following 10 years. Notwithstanding, these positions accompany a normal compensation of around $20,000. On the off chance that we can raise that compensation while allowing AI to produce benefits in the corporate area, we could at the same time facilitate the work uprooting issue and better consideration for our networks. There are a ton of thoughts on how to adapt to dislodged laborers, such as burdening the most affluent individuals to give a general essential pay, which would see that everybody got enough cash to get by. And keeping in mind that some type of fundamental pay might be important, depending entirely on this arrangement would be a disgrace. Doing so would evade the chance to establish genuine social change that could profit the whole world by making human-focused work markets not as driven by benefit. Rather than zeroing in total on cash, perhaps we ought to be more similar to Bhutan, which takes a gander at gross national happiness as a genuine indication of progress. Final summary. The main message in these chapters. China is ready to turn into an AI superpower in the AI economy that is required to be valued at $15.7 trillion around the world. On account of an administration that is anxious to help push new tech organizations forward, a vigorous assembling center point, and a goldmine of customized information readily available, China has what it needs to begin making astonishing AI items and applications. While some concern that an AI economy will bring about decimating position misfortunes, in the event that we move our qualities toward remunerating human-to-human positions, for example, providing care and local area-based work, we may arise as a far and away superior society and improve the world we live in. You like what you hear? Check out other personal development or business books. This video was made possible by your support. It takes a very long time to make one of our videos, so thanks to your contributions to Patreon and watching our videos, we are slowly able to do more and more of them. If you want to help us out, check out the Patreon page. If you like the contents of this video, check out other books in the description and suggest what book we should cover next.